Hey, what's going on, everybody? Bauer Brown here. Welcome back to the channel, guys. So you might be asking yourself right now, what the heck are you doing on the Farming Simulator website? Well, let me tell you, as you can plainly see, I am looking at the DLC for precision farming. Alrighty, so I'm guessing that most of you guys, or probably the majority by now, you already know what precision farming is. You know exactly what it is. All right, so for those of you who don't, I'll give you a real quick lowdown here. And I'll start with an example that back at FS19, we had Seasons came out, okay? Seasons was a mod that we can download for the game, put it in our mod folder, and when we played the game, we were able to play with seasons, with snow and that sort of stuff, right? You know, we went through all the different seasons. Okay, so this year with Farming Simulator 22, that is now integrated into the base game. It's part of the game. All right, so what they did is they came along with precision farming. So this is kind of like Seasons was. It's not really integrated into the game. We need to download the DLC, throw it into our mods folder, and then we have the option of playing with precision farming. All right, so now as map makers, when we make our map, we want to give the player that option. You know, we want to allow them that option to play precision farming if they want to, right? We're nice guys, so we're going to give them that option. You know, if not, they might be mad at us because we made a crappy map that that doesn't support precision farming. All right, so as far as what this is, all right, so I can go ahead and I can read you the whole thing here. It's probably easier to just go to the Farming Simulator website. So go to farming-simulator.com. Go up here to DLC, all right, and I'll go back and even show you, right? So where are you going? Scroll down a little bit and you will see the section here for Precision Farming DLC, right? And it even says free. That's my favorite price. You can't beat that. So for all you cheapskates out there, this is right up your alley. All right. Now, the thing with this is we don't even need the mod. You do if you want to actually, you know, play using precision farming. But we don't really need the mod because we're just including it into our map. We're making our map capable of being able to use precision farming, but we do need some things out of this folder. All right. So we're going to download it anyhow. So, you know, if you don't know what it is and you want to read about it, you know, you can read the description, you know, right here on the what's included, where it tells you about, you know, sustainable farming and smart farming technology and all that good stuff. All right. But I'm going to leave that up to you if you want to read it or not. I'm not going to bore you with that. Just go over here, click on download. Now, I've already downloaded my copy, so I'm not going to do it again just because I don't want to and you can't make me. All right. But when you click download, it's going to come up with like a pop-up. It says, hey, where do you want to download this to? Typically, you would put it in your mods folder if you don't already have it and you're interested in using the mod when you play the game. Okay, the DLC, I guess we could say. If you've already have this DLC, you can skip all of this. Just go into your mods folder, find the DLC, and, you know, we'll pick up from there. But for you guys that don't already have a copy of this, go ahead, download it, find a place for it. Like I said, it does not need to go into your mods folder unless you plan on, you know, you don't already have a copy and you want to use this mod within the game if you want to play using precision farming. All right, so in any event, figure out where you want to put this download. It's going to come in a zip form, right? So you're going to have to extract the files and get it into its own unzip folder. All right. So let me go and find out what I did with mine here. For those of you guys that have been following along with this tutorial, you know that I have a folder called utilities where I like to keep all my goodies that I use for map making. All right. And in there I have one that says tools. And then within there I have my precision farming folder. Okay. So we're going to open that up and there's a bunch of goodies inside of here. You can go through the folders, pick through and see what's what and figure out, you know, what they're giving you here. But for now, we're just interested in documents. Okay. So let's open up documents. Now, there's two different PDFs in there. One of them are for the guys that are doing the easy stuff and making vehicles. And I'm joking, man. That's really hard, man. You know, they say the same thing about the map modders that, man, that's just too much, man. That's just crazy. But I say the same thing about vehicles. I'm like, these guys are just nuts. There's so much involved with this that Anyhow, so it really is two different worlds right there. So, but for us map modders, okay, we're interested in the PDF that it says exactly that, prepare mod maps. So I'm going to open that up. Alrighty. And well, it looks like mine opened up inside of Edge. All right, but here's the list of instructions, right? Basically, this is spelling the whole thing out for you on how to include this. Now, I think the way this works is they just took the instructions for FS19 and kind of recycled it, because some things are slightly different for FS22. Some things don't quite jive as far as these instructions go. But don't worry, I got you guys covered. I'll take care of you on this one. Not only that, but we are going to be doing ours a little bit differently than what they're asking us to do here. So all of the other map modders out there are going to have this version, but we're going to step ours up a notch, and we're definitely going to have the upper hand and the better version. So there, take that. All right. So if you're ready, like I said, at this point, you don't even need me. I mean, these are instructions. If you can read instructions, you've got this covered. So maybe I should just dip out right now and these guys can just do whatever the heck you want. Let's not do that. Let's have some fun with this and get it done together. All right. All right. So let's see if I can make it through this without fumbling through. All right. So the very first thing that it wants us to do is open up. We're going to add our custom soil map by opening up our map.i3d with a text editor. Well, I can certainly do that. So let me go find my map.i3d. Alrighty. So that would be in my map folder. There it is. Let's open that up with Notepad++. There we go. Okay, what does it want me to do next? All right, so, okay, that's open. All right, search for the info layer named farmland. Hey, we just did that, right? You remember that. We just went over farmland. All right, so once we find it, it wants us to duplicate the info layer entry, right? And we're going to rename it to soil map and add a file ID of 99999. All right, which the file ID, right, just let me get this out there, is not critically important. It doesn't have to be exactly 9999. It could be 66666, 7777, and it doesn't even have to be 6 of them, right? What they're trying to do here is give you a file ID that they're making sure you don't have a duplicate file ID, right? So you're giving it a high enough number that it's not going to match any other file ID that you have somewhere inside your map. And you're trying to make it really easy to remember. So, if you're going to, try and be if you're if you're going to try to be a smart aleck and make it 9999999999999, you're going to need to remember that later on. So keep that in mind. Alrighty. So anyhow, enough of me going on with all this nonsense. Let's get over there and look for the farmland info layer. So let's hit Control F, and hey, what do you know? I already have farmland pulled up on mine. Let's hit Find Next. That's not exactly what I'm looking for there. But why? Okay, so I'm not really looking for that. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to look for, there we go. I hit Next and I found the farmland info layer. Okay. So what it wants me to do is duplicate this. Now, there's a group associated with this, okay? And that group is all the different farmlands that we have available. Now, normally, you only need to one line. If you look down here a little bit further, what they're asking us for only entails one line, right? So if you look what they have here, let me go back over, right? It's just one line is all they have there. But this is where we're gonna change ours up just a tiny bit. Okay, we're gonna make this a lot easier on you guys, and you'll see why as soon as we get down to that point in the instructions. So stop being impatient, damn it. I'm getting there. All right. So anyhow, let's get back over there. Okay, so we're gonna duplicate this, and we'll pick the info layer. Whoa. All the way down to the closing tag for info layer. So we're going to hit copy. Alrighty. Start a new section here and we're going to paste. Now, all of the options in here, okay, we're going to get rid of. We're going to keep one, keep the first option and just get rid of the rest. So we'll delete that. All right, so now this info layer named farmland, we're going to name that the soil map. Now you can name it anything you want. It doesn't have to be soil map. You can name it precision farming if you want to, right? So use your imagination, be creative, give it a nice name, but you could stick with soil map. That's not such a bad idea either. All right, so the file ID, we're going to go with the 99999. All right, and the number of channels it wants is 3, so we'll put that in there, no problem. Alrighty, so now this part here is not in the instructions, so this is where we're kind of doing our own thing at this point, right? So for the group name, we'll just give it a name. We'll call it types, and or soil types. Yeah, let's call it soil types. That might be better. Yep. Let's do that. Soil types. All right, first channel 0, number of channels 8. Nope, let's just do number of channels 3 again. Or is it 4? I can't remember how I had this set up. Let's stick with 3. 3, right? Actually, no, let's do 4. Oh, I can't remember. Darn it. All right, let's stick with 4. And if we need to come back and change it, we'll do that. How's that? Since I'm confusing myself here. All righty. So option number 1, we're going to do 0. Okay. Now, this is where I'm going to explain to you why we're doing it this way instead of the way they want us to do it. If you scroll down here a little bit further, when you use this within the map, right? So when you have the editor open, you're going to go to soil map, right, where it says there. Now you're going to have to start using checkboxes, and you're going to have to remember that loamy sand, right, is a 0 basically, or sandy loam, you have to check 0, which is the value of 1. If you guys remember, your bits and their values. And then loam, you have to click the number 1, which is the value of 2. So what they have here is 0, 1, 2, 3, which I believe is 4 channels, right? And then, of course, never set bit number 2. I don't know why, but just never do it. So remember that. All right. So I believe that they have 1, 2, 3, 4 channels. All right. So we're going to go with that. All right. So what we're doing is instead of when you use this in the editor and you have to, you check soil map, and instead of remembering what these are and hitting check boxes and stuff like that, we're going to put it inside its own drop down. So we're already doing better at this point. So we'll keep this open because we're going to need to refer back to this. So loamy sand is 0. So that's the first one. Okay. So let's get back into there. Now make sure it has a value of 0 because this makes a difference. All right. So let's go over here and then we'll name that loamy sand. Okay. Now, as far as what these are, like the loamy sand, and man, I did a lot of research on this and it makes a lot more sense to me now, but still it's kind of So yeah, these guys are going to have to look this up on your own. Do lots and lots of Googling, right? Because you just want to figure out what these soil types are, because it does make a difference, right? Like silty clay. I'm not sure, but like clay is usually like a little more moist and stuff. And you probably find that around like water systems and stuff like that. And so these different soil types are pretty specific to different parts of the country. So you may want to research your own area or the area that your map is based on and see what kind of soil types they have there. If you're shooting for accuracy, if you really don't give a crap, then just pencil them in. We'll get there. No problem. Right. All right. So next one, we have sandy loam, and silty clay. All right. So let's go back over there and get this finished up. So we had sandy loam. All right, so sandy loam, and that was a value of 1. Okay, duplicate that line. Man, I'm having some issues with this, right? Okay, next one, value of 2. So what did I say? It was sandy loam, and silty clay. All right, so let's duplicate this one more time, a value of 3. And we're going to name this one silty clay. All right, silty clay. Okay, now let's go back over to our instructions, see what they want us to do next. All right, so we did the info layer, we renamed everything, good to go. Let's search for the file ID written in the farmland entry in the file section. All right, so what they're looking for is this farmland PNG. Now, we don't have one of those. What we do have is probably a farmland.grle. So let's look for that instead. Okay, so let's go in here. We're going to hit Control F. Let's look for farmland.grle. And there we go. We found it. Right, so you can look if you want to, but I'm trying to tell you right now that you don't have a farmland.png, so don't waste your time. Okay, so let's just duplicate this line right here because this is basically what it wants us to duplicate. All right, let's go back into the instructions. All right, duplicate the file entry and replace the file ID. Now, this is where you needed to remember that file ID of that 999999999 that you named it, or in our case, just 5 nines. And then adjust the file name, replace farmland with soil map, and save your i3D. All right, we could do that. That was easy enough. Let's get over there and do that. All right, so we're going to call this soil map.grle. Soil map. All right. And keep the info layer in there because this is going to be an info layer. We're still working with info layers, remember? All righty. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. Good to go. Let's hit Control S. Save that. Go back over to the instructions. Now, here's where it says it wants you to create a fully black PNG image with a resolution of 1024 by 1024 and save it where that file name is pointing to. Okay, so what we would not normally do, but what they want you to do here, obviously, they want you to create this black image. And then what you would do is you would throw it into your data folder and you would point this farmland, this soil map, I'm sorry, you would make this file path point towards your soil map.png, but we're not going to do it that way. We're just going to skip that step altogether. And like I said, we're going to do our own thing. The heck with these guys. They just like to make things difficult. So let's not do that. Let's do something different. All right. So what we did is in our i3D here, we have a data info layer underscore soil map.grle. All right. So we can remember that. Now go back over to your precision farming folder for where we downloaded everything. Okay. Get yourself into there. Do it now. All right. And open up soil maps. Okay. So you can pick any one that you want out of here. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to go with map US just because, I don't know, that's what I'm working on, map US. So I'm going to hit Control C to copy. Now I'm going to go back over to my mod map and I'm going to go into my data folder. All right, so this is where the rest of my info layers were. So I'm going to put this one in there, hit Control V. Okay, now I'm just going to rename this one. And we're going to rename it exactly. Now it needs to be exactly what it says in your i3D there. And mine was info layer underscore soil map.grle. Okay, so let's go back there to be sure. And it's in our data folder, which you can see there. And it's info layer underscore soil map.grle. Now make sure it says GRLE and not PNG like it said in the instructions. We're not doing that. We're going Bauer's way on this one. All right. All right. And make sure the address is right. Pay attention to capitalization and stuff like that because it'll all screw you up. You know, you don't want to be the guy when everybody else is following along with this tutorial and we try it out and they're like, yes, awesome. And you're the only one guy in the room like, what the hell? It don't work. So pay attention. You don't want to be that guy. All right. All right. So let's get back to the instructions. What does it want us to do next? We skipped that step because we're important. We're that important that we don't even need that step. All right. So open up the map.i3D with the giant set. Hey, all right. So we're at that point already. No problem. Let's get over there. We'll open it up. Nope, not on Rocky Mountain anymore. Matter of fact, I'm not even in the right spot. Where do I belong here? Hey, there we go. Get into mods, tutorial series, map, and open up the map. So if it crashes, if you are at this point, if you open this up and it crashes, you did something wrong. Like not good, wrong, right? So give it a second to load up, see what we got here. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee here quick. Ooh, that was tasty. It's some kind of iced coffee in a can. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so mine didn't crash, so I know I'm good. Hopefully none of you guys experience any type of crash. All right, so what we got here now, let me put this out there really quick too. The soil map, that GRLE file that we copied over from the DLC folder, that is already in the dimensions of 1024 by 1024. Okay. If you guys are doing anything different, just make sure that you save those dimensions. Now, I want to say that 1024, it still holds true, even if you're on a 4X or possibly bigger, that you're still using that same dimension, right? Because most of your other files, your weight files, some of the other info layers are going to be different sizes depending on the size of your map. But precision farming, I don't believe is that way. I think it stays at 1024. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you're working on a different size map and you think you need to, scale up or something like that, just keep it at 1024. All right. And let's see here. Let's go over to, we're going to click on our info layer, go over to our attributes here and see if we can find a section for info layers. Okay, there we go. And hey, look at, I got one called soil map. Whoa, look at that soil map. All right. I got a soil map. All right. So the nice thing here is, right, so it's pretty cool. We have, 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. So we don't have to be like everybody else here. We can actually, if you want to do anything to this, you don't have to remember your check boxes like, one and, like stuff like this. You can just pick yours right out of the drop down list. So if you want silty clay, we'll pick that, and then loam. So you can do yours this way, and that's pretty nice, right? So I like that. So that's what we got right there. So you can keep this if you want to do that, or you can do like we've been doing, right? When we've been preparing our info layers, and you can just start deleting everything on here. Just go through and wipe the whole thing out and start from there. So I'm not sure if this one would work or not. Let's see. Make that bigger. No. So the first one's just a blank entry, right? As a matter of fact, yeah, just a blank entry. But if we get on to, let me see here. Whoa, what did I do? Ay, ay, ay. What did I do here? I got things all crazy. All right. Ay, 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 Bauer. Quit it, man. Yes, okay. So it works okay. No problem. So if you wanted to, like I said, you can go ahead and delete the whole entire thing, and get that down to just nothing, down to bare ground like we got here. And then you can start, adding whatever you want. Or you can keep what you already have. So this is already done. So you don't really need to do much else than this. If you want to, like I said, you can go over and blank everything out and start from there. Or keep what you got. Keep what you got right here, right? So it was that easy. Now, the way that they would have had you do this with the PNG, that was still possible too. Okay, so what would have happened there is you would have had the PNG, and the file path would point to that PNG, not a GRLE. All right. And then when you opened up your editor, you wouldn't see this because there was nothing already prepared. It would just be blank. Then you could color in whatever you wanted to. And then when you saved your map in the editor, that would create that GRLE for you. All right. But we just skipped that step and just went with the GRLE that was already there, that they already provided us. So we can change this up any old way we want, right? Or we can just be lazy and keep it the way it is. Not a problem. All right. And then somewhere down the road, if you guys have ever seen the one, I just updated the one for Elm Creek Extension. So that one's crazy looking soil map. And it's going to be pretty similar inside of Rocky Mountain Reserve. It's just craziness going on there. And maybe somewhere down the road, I'll show you how to do that, if you're familiar. If not, you're going to have to wait and see what you get when Rocky Mountain Reserve comes out. All right, so back to the instructions here. Quit yapping, Bauer. Let's get on with this, right? Time's a wasting. All right, so we did this. We went into here, we went into our editor and we've seen that everything works just fine. But we still have some things that we need to do, okay? So let's see. We need to prepare our mod maps for precision farming. All right, so let's go to the, now you can save the map.i3, close the editor, which didn't really matter because that's the step that you need, that save where they're telling you to save it and close the editor. That's where it would create that GRLE for you. But we already have ours because we're special, so we don't need to do that part of it, all right? All right, so we do need to open up the map.xml. So let's get over there and get that done. So let's get back into our map folder, find the map.xml. We're going to open that up. Okay, easy peasy. Scroll down a little bit. Okay, we're going to add the following section into the XML. Replace the file name by path, or by the path to the soil maps. You're okay, this has been created, blah, blah, blah. All right, so it wants us to take this here. All right. And we are going to add that. I guess we can add that right towards the top by the looks of it. Come on, copy. Don't be difficult. Is that copy? Hey, that is copy. Alrighty, so let's get over there. We got that opened up. Where do they have theirs? And it really doesn't matter. So if you're looking at this right now, go, oh my God, where do I put it? There's honestly, there's really no wrong place. So I'm going to stick mine. Let's see. There's no wrong place. So you can put it there near the top if you want to. Doesn't matter. I know that these are all my files, so all my files are together. I guess, yeah, maybe I'll keep it towards the top. So I'm just going to Control V, paste that bad boy in there. All right, make it look pretty. No problem. Now here's where it wants the path. Now, all the rest of our stuff, look at the rest of your paths there. All right, so find something that's in that same folder. We really have nothing there. All right, but ours would be, or mine, the file path would be, we map, and it's in the data folder, okay? And then we named it info layer underscore soil map dot GRLE, okay? Click save on that. Let's double check, make sure that's what it wanted me to do. I'm not getting ahead of myself. Nope, we're good there. Alrighty, now you can save the map.xml and then test it in the game. Alrighty. All right, so if you guys keep reading down, it gives you some instructions here. Now we're done at this point. We're completely done. You can go into the game and you can see that everything definitely works. It's no problemo. I'm going to skip that step for now, or maybe I will. We'll see. Right. But you can look down here and it says nitrogen requirements for custom fruit types. All right. So if you have some additional fill types that you use in your map, you know, you're going above and beyond. I guess this is for extra credit. This is where you can define like your nitrogen requirements, basically what it says. And it gives you a very, very short set of instructions on how to do that here. So we're not going to get into that in this tutorial. This was just about getting the precision farming into our map. Maybe somewhere down the road, maybe we'll do another tutorial, you know, maybe when we get into custom, you know, fruit types, and we'll take care of this at that point. But for now, just know that it's there. And if you're at that point, you know, where you have your own custom types, then you can by all means just go ahead and hop on that. Alrighty, so there you have it. As long as you have the file path correct, right, where it says file name there, and this is all pointing to the right spot, you have no misspellings, right? All your capitalization is correct, and you're not going to be that guy. You can probably hop over to your map right now in game and check it out. Now, keep in mind that you have to have this mod has to be loaded at that point, right? It has to be in your mod folder, or else you won't be able to use it. Now, I'm going to skip that part of going over to test it because I don't want to make myself look bad when it doesn't work. So I'm Actually, I'm just kidding. I don't really have it set up and ready to go. I'm on my traveling rig. So I could, but like I said, it's a little bit to get all that set up right now. And I'm not really prepared for that. But trust me, it definitely will work because, I'm that good. No, I'm kidding again. It's that easy is the whole point behind this, right? So it really is that easy. Go through, just follow the instructions. Now they are a little bit misleading, like I said, because some of them, it has more to do with the way we did this in FS19. So, stick with me on the video as you go through. If you have any questions, just, follow along with the video. And, I'll step you through everything. And as long as you follow along, everything should be good. All right. So there's some things, though, that are going to definitely make a difference. So make sure your farmlands are set up properly. You have, when you go into your farmlands.xml, right now we only have one farmland. So make sure that's set up properly. What else do I have in there? Just make sure everything's set up properly, because if it starts throwing errors and stuff, you may not get exactly what you want out of it. But trust me, that's all there is to installing the precision farming. And that's it. Good to go. So with that being said, I am Bauer Brown, and I will see you on the next one.